The thoughts that come with being abused is more like, it's not worth living. I did not want to live. In fact, the day that I went to the doctor with the bruises, I ended up going there, being referred from the hospital the week before from trying to commit suicide. My life wasn't worth living, is what I thought. I wanted to die. I did not want to live. I did not want to face the world. I didn't want people in the world looking at me, walking around with a black eye, broken bones. A lot of times when you're in an abusive situation, you don't have an outlet. You don't know where to go. The control is so strong that you think that this is life. You have no one to talk to, and honestly, you feel that you are the only person in the world that's being abused. I was 17 years old, living in a women's shelter for battered women. I basically had no education. I had a small child and had no direction, didn't know where I was going to go. And the women at the shelter that actually ran the shelter said, we have several different programs that may be usable for you.
They just told me that there was somebody over here they thought was qualified for our program, that she did farm work, and if I wanted to come over and talk to her and see if we could help her.
Kathy came over to the shelter to see me, talk with me, got a little bit of information about me, and my whole life transformed after that.
So as soon as I saw her, I wanted to help her. I knew she was needing help, and I just did the assessment on her, and I did everything I could to make it easy on her so she wouldn't be apprehensive about her future. And you know, we're here to help people who are ready to be helped. I knew she was ready to be helped. I would have never forced her, or I would try to encourage her and empower her. That's what we do. I knew she was ready.
She was warm, inviting, and friendly, and just gave me that feeling like, okay, I can trust her. Kathy pulled amazing strings and just kind of brought the world to me in this one little shelter. And next thing you know, she said, okay, kid, you're enrolled in school and this is what you need to do. 9 weeks after meeting Kathy, I had a CNA certificate from DCC where I actually went into the nurse home and started working. And about 30 days later, I actually went to Chatham where I had to take my state boards and passed with flying colors and got my CNA license. I would say to Kathy, you saved my life. She has no clue the mental state I was in the day that I met her. How I still felt like I wanted to crawl on the rock and die. How I did not want to exist. I did not know what I was doing, where I would go, or what next step my life held for me. And Kathy came in and kind of guided my footsteps, held my hand, dragged me when I needed, and I could never thank her enough for everything that she did for me. Never. Not enough words in the English dictionary to say thank you for giving me the willpower to go out there, get the job, get the education, and just continues to try. She used to rub me in my back and say, it's okay. And sometimes you don't realize how much that little rub in the back makes a difference in your life.
I felt if I hugged her, I would connect with her. And that hug helped me just as much as it did her because I felt like she needed it. I have a motto that I live by, that in helping others, we help ourselves. You know, you think you impact people's lives, but you just don't know the depth of how you impact their lives till you hear something like this.
Just to know that I could financially afford to take care of my son was such a rewarding feeling, and it was no way I could ever go back to where I was, to not having anything. It made me not afraid of society. It made me feel like, okay, I can go to work, mind my business, stay to myself, and become prosperous in society. Telamon was awesome. I felt wanted, I felt appreciated, I felt loved, I felt needed. I think that the program goes beyond just a job program because it kind of gives you the backbone to feel independent enough to stand on your own.
The most beautiful thing is to know where she was and where she's at now, and to know the impact that Telamon has on people's lives. This is what we stand for. I mean, our first line on our mission statement is we are advocates for people in need. And if you believe that and you live that, then you become that.